Right, brief introduction. My name's George. I'm one of the Tudor team, and our job is to interpret and look at Tudor cooking. And Tudor cooking isn't simply a case of cooking food. Oh, that's pretty, a bit of beef. It's the context of food. When I go to a foreign country, I eat foreign food, yay! But if I have a piece of lamb, and it's just a piece of lamb, I can be anywhere. How I eat that food is very important too. Not just how it tastes, how it looks, but where and how I eat it. The Tudor period is another country. The past is something we cannot really truly understand. We have to kind of look at it in different ways. And one thing to look at is the context of Tudor dining. And I'll talk to you about Tudor food and the kind of recipes that might be on this table. And then we're going to eat them virtually. You're going to go through the motions of how to eat this food, and you're going to learn a very basic overview on etiquette. And hopefully you're going to bust a few myths and misconceptions about how the Tudors ate, what they did or didn't do, and then it opens it up for any wider conversations. Right, anyway, let's cut to the chase. You are a wealthy family in the country somewhere. It's a special occasion. We've laid the linen. We've got the pewter out. This is expensive stuff. This is indicative of your social status. The reason we're doing this kind of thing is more interesting because it's kind of more detail really to talk about. So you're quite wealthy, you have the pewter out, it's a special occasion. The food that you're going to eat today is not daily food for you. Even the wealthy do not sit there eating to that extent that we're going to talk about. Special occasion. How many times can I say special occasion in one table? Probably more. So let's briefly talk about food, then about the expectations of your behaviour at the dinner table, and then you're going to show us, sorry, I'm not going to teach you anything, you're going to show the ignorant masses, of which there are many, how to eat properly. Firstly, drinks. You've got water, wine, red wine or white wine, depending. The water's there to mix with the wine, which drink on its own. You're a boy, Flynn. You have a small amount of wine and a lot of water. Right, adults, maybe half and half. Uncut wine, no, that's only when you're out on the lash. Don't do that, it's really not done. The food, right, here we have a custard tart. It's made with fine white flour that's been, has had a bit of salt and saffron that's been blind baked with butter as well. And then the custard filling, which is fresh cream, egg yolks, saffron and sugar. Sugar's an expensive spice. It's a lovely dish, and it's baked to just wobbly perfection. Here we have beef stewed, which is small cubes of beef that have been cooked in a stock with a range of spices, cloves, mace, pepper. It's very rich and very tasty. Here in this bowl we have something called piro, which is a pea dish made from peas. We cook the peas, push them through a strainer to get rid of the skins, and we cook those lovely. Flynn, you eat what you're given. You're a boy, you don't have an opinion. Remember that, you're not important. But you're getting input. How old are you? You're nearly there. You're just a boy. You have no opinions of flavour. You eat that or don't eat anything. Here is lovely. So it's peas that have been cooked, passed through a sieve to get rid of the skins, and they're cooked together with ground ginger, fresh parsley and diced onion, very finely chopped onion. It's lovely. Best mushy peas you'll ever eat. And finally, on that platter there, we have roast beef. Beef that's been roasted on fire. We can see that. Beef that's been roasted. Then, in this case, it's already been carved into thin slices. So it's served in thin slices on that platter. And at the end, you'll have salt in the middle vessel, and then sauces in the saucers. Ooh, yeah, oh, that's what a saucer is. Yeah, I wonder when the sauce came into this. Oh, yeah, it's a saucer to put your sauces in. And those sauces will be made according to the meal that you're going to eat. Right, a brief word about the meal as a whole. The servants come along, put your food on the table, and then withdraw. You will serve yourselves. This is a mess. This is a given amount of food for a set number of people. The sweet dishes and the savoury dishes, there's no distinction. They're all dishes that you will eat at any given time. There's no order to it, as far as we're aware. Right, some basic rules. You'll wash your hands before dinner. The staff will brought around a nice bowl of water. You'll wash your hands, soap, rub on the towel. Very nice, elegant. You won't pick your nails with a knife, pick your teeth. No farting at the dinner table, sir. There's nothing wrong with farting. It's just a way of getting rid of the noxious fumes that we produce, but not at the dinner table. No burping at the dinner table. If you feel you've got a little bit of inflation here, you make sure your belt's undone. Don't stuff your face with food. Don't talk with your mouth full. Don't bite into food. No elbows on the table, thank you. loads of other rules. There's loads of, you know, you don't eat until you're told to eat. You're so insignificant that you're lucky to be sat at the table. In reality, Flynn, stand behind that lady there. Stand there, right? Imagine, what's your name? Georgia, Flynn, and Josh. That's your name. Right. In some cases, he would be eating what you give him. When you give it to him. Sit down, but we're going to be kind to you. You're going to be the head of this family, so when this man says we can eat and when we stop is pretty much when we do. The other thing to bear in mind is you do not eat until you're full. This notion of eating to complete repletion is a bit of a myth. The ideal medieval Tudor diet is one of moderation. You have enough food and then some. You eat enough. You don't eat between meals. You avoid it. Drinking between meals. You avoid that. This is the ultra kind of ascetic way of almost eating. It's not what we. Pardon? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was fat at the latter end of his life for a reason. He was brought up. Remember, he wasn't brought up to be king. He was the spare. He would have been brought up to eat properly as a gentleman. Because TV, unfortunately, isn't real life. Fat bloke sitting here with a chicken leg and he said it doesn't happen. That's not daily dining. What he does with his friends on the lash is a completely different thing. Eating is done with great care and etiquette and consideration. Massive hierarchy. It's very clearly deliberated, even within the same kind of social structure. Here, his place at this table is just lucky to be at this table because of his place. He's a boy. He's not that important. He's turning into a man. But he's still, everybody at this table is ultimately below this person. Okay, it's very, very important to bear that in mind. And if this was a social occasion where the family had a feast, they may invite poorer people of a lower station to eat with them, but not necessarily associated with them. It's all part of demonstrating your status in society. And the way you eat separates you from other people. Right? It's not just how you dress and how you speak, but how you conduct yourself. So you've got to learn this by the rod, or just be smart enough never to get beaten. Isn't that right? Don't answer back. Right, okay. Right then, okay, what we're going to do is to break down the eating into sections. What would normally happen is you'd start eating and then you'd stop, and all would be happening at the same time. But we're going to break it down dish by dish, so we can illustrate to these poor ignorant folk how to eat properly. Sir, as you are the head of the table, you can show us how people might have eaten some of the custard tart. It's a bit custard tart, it's like, go for it, pater familias. So you've got the whole tart, have you? A big thing like that. Do you think that's a good example to set to your family? Of course not, sir. You are jesting with us, surely. Oh, sorry, but you're saying, but I haven't got a knife. There's a knife. Knives will be provided for you if it's in your own household. If you go to someone's house and eat, you generally bring your own. It seems to be the accepted wisdom. Right, sir. Okay, alright. Yeah. Marvellous. Right, okay. Now what? It's sitting on that, doing nothing. How are you going to eat it? Oh, yeah. Oh, no! You were doing so bad! Right, now, you need to move away because I wave my arms. If you're on my blind side, you're likely to get a bit. That way would be good. Right, this, although is incredibly blunt, reality would be very, very sharp. Right, so we don't eat their knives. You are not farm hands. Right, you're not in a broiler painting. You don't do that. You don't put your teeth in like this is sharp. It's undignified. No, sir. Thank you. Try again. Are you asking or telling? I'm not going to help you at all. I'm going to watch and laugh. What do you think? No, isn't it rubbish? Isn't it? Why? Pardon?
Well, if he's got a small piece, you take it on the spoon.
Yeah, exactly. So listen to that lady over there. Yes, and you eat the small piece and you say that. This spoon has a different function. Thank you, sir. Right then, or who next? I'll save you to the end. Georgia. Beef stew. This is a wet dish. It's got small pieces of beef. It's fantastic. It smells nice, and everything I described we've eaten many times. Pardon? did, because I wanted him to realise he needed one. I had them here in my belt ready to give. He needs to realise that that's what he needed.
They didn't have fruits.
Well, they had them, but not necessarily for eating. They were used for other things. Anyway, Georgia, let's go for it. How are you going to eat this beef is stewed?
Need a serving spoon.
Tell me, don't ask me. I'm not going to help you. Remember, no pain, no gain.
You cut your bread. Tear it off.
How much beef do you think you're going to get off by dipping a piece of bread into that? What else are you going to do to that beef? Drop bits of your bread into it, aren't you? You're going to ruin the flavour of that lovely, lovely meal. Who brought you up? Ah. Well, go on.
Okay.
No, everything else that's it. Everything you need is here. Yep.
Could I break that open and just spoon it into that?
And then how are you going to eat it?
Or just...
Stop. One little thing for a second. Right, okay. Right, pour your spoon, please. Right, imagine this. Georgie, you say, right, okay. I'm going to put this on here. Now, what's likely to happen, Flynn? It's going to fall off. There's going to be a Stewagra Falls of juice. And you're going to try and chase with kind of flat spoon. It's wet, but it'll probably land in Flynn's lap, and you'll blame Flynn and smack Flynn around the ear. No, this is not a bowl or a plate. But you're getting there, so what does that leave you? You're not going to use the bread as a big soup, because that's not going to happen. Oh, build like some entrenchments.
Oh, that's it, yeah. A moat. That's
a moat, yes, a structure. Maybe not as complicated as that, madam. Do what you think's right. Yes, correct.
Really?
Right, you bring that towards you, and you maybe you don't just dig in. Remember, you're dignified, wealthy, well-brought-up people, and you've got poor little Flynn here who needs to be taught manners. If he's going to follow that, how's he going to progress in society? No one will marry him. Right, 1 or 2 mouthfuls. Fantastic. Taste it, enjoy it. Lovely. Right, good. Josh, Pira, pea dish, the mushy pea dish. How are you going to eat that? Yeah, you could, because it's stodgy enough to be able to do that. Or you could eat from the bowl in the same way. Okay, finally, Flinsky. Piece of beef. How are you going to eat the beef? You're lucky, Sir here has said, oh, yeah, have yourself some beef. Oh, thank you. So, it's over there, you've got to get it and then eat it. Where's my stick?
Jam it with your knife. Take a piece.
Madam, you should have been sat at the table, really, shouldn't you?
Well, I come from Tudor times. I've just been preserved.
So, right, you've got a piece of meat on here. How are you going to eat it? Yeah, and then stick. Would you eat a piece of roast beef with a spoon at home? Do you eat beef? Are you a vegetarian? Oh, that's lucky. Done that before. So, would you eat a piece of roast beef with a spoon? And neither did this. So you've got these pieces of roast beef. How are you going to eat them?
I think they've been dressing up.
Brilliant. Well done, Flynn. And you'd have eaten a few mouthfuls. You've had enough. Head of the table says, "Oh, I've had enough now." And you lot go, because kids always eat, don't stop eating. You're thinking, "Oh, that's good, because I keep the cup and figure," and everyone's happy in their role and their station, except the kids. Right, what happens now? The meal isn't over. We have bits of food that are broken here, bread, bits that you've mopped up your juices on here, bits of gristly bits you didn't want, crumbs, etc. And what happens to this food and this food? There are 2 sets of food. Pardon? No, you've eaten it, your meal stopped. No more. Stick! Come on, where's my stick? The boy needs regular beatings. No, they have their own food. Well, this stuff is thrown away. The broken food is thrown away. It's voided, animals, whatever. It's got rid of. What about this stuff?
The servants have it?
No, servants have their own food, madam. You feed your people. No.
Dogs?
No. later. Pardon?
The dogs.
Save it for later. No, you're far too wealthy to recycle food. That's positively...
Oh, that's right.
Pardon?
Make it into a soup for Henry.
No? They're fed, aren't they? Right. This is given to the poor. The part of your Christian duty, and you've been brought up into this, you know nothing else, is to always give to the poor in some way. And the wealthier you are, the more you should be able to give. And it includes food. And it could be that in the large households, the very, very wealthy, they have a few members of the poorer classes at table being fed an amount of food as your act of charity. Very, very important. Right? And every social class is expected to do something similar. Even when you die. It's amazing. You will die, and you will write in your will, or, you know, I'll bequeath my best gown to my sister, whatever, and my uncle, this, that, and the other. But a week or so after my funeral, a month or so, I want a funeral mind, which is a kind of a religious reflection day of the person that's deceased, prayers and whatnot, but a meal. And even in that meal, it will be stratified. It will be pewter, they'll hire, for the poorer people, hire pewter, rent it out, and have a nice, complicated dish. There'll be some people further down the social spectrum, have something a bit simpler in ceramics, and that will all be even dictated after death, this whole social order. But that is an act of giving. It's an act of charity beyond your life. These things are highly important to Tudors and the medievals, effectively it's the same thing. They are not meant to sit there gluttonising themselves. It's a horrendous idea to the well brought up Tudor person. And gluttony doesn't just mean overeating, it means inappropriate eating. It means eating between meals, eating spicy, complex food, eating food that's not necessary for nutrition. So the ritual of eating is far more important than food itself. There you go, pretty much. So that's that. You're now passed as Tudor diners. Remember that when you see your teachers go, oh yeah, so notice that they're fat people. Henry VIII, as you know, was only like that for the last 9 years of his life. If I said to you there was a monarch who was monogamous for 20 odd years, relatively tall, slim and sporty, you'd never think it was Henry VIII, but it was. Because he was married to Catherine of Aragon for 20 odd years and was very much in love with her. In fact, Henry VII didn't want them to get together. So you mustn't look at history through this kind of back end of a telescope. You know, it's very easy to imagine him as some mad, fat, ginger tyrant. You know, he was actually no worse than any monarch around that time, no more extreme. We are sold a brand image of Henry that isn't really stacked up. He was a decent chap. And he had a laugh with his mates, and a few legitimate children. So what? That's what monarchs do. But that's what they do. There you go. End of. Well done. So, please sit down, ask them questions, chill out, eat more, pretend food.